Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a closer look at something super useful. Everyday English conversation.
Yeah, exactly. We're using a great source for this, the English Smart Podcast channel on YouTube.
Right. Specifically their episode 2, the one called Learn English Quickly with Smart Podcast. We've got some key bits from the transcript here.
And think of us as your guides, really. Our mission, yours too, if you're listening, is to kind of pull out the useful stuff, the insights into how people actually talk.
So focusing on those common phrases and, how to use them naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the setup in the dialogue is, well, it's pretty classic. Two people, Nick and Anna, they bump into each other again after a conference. But Nick can't quite remember Anna's name. It's that, slightly awkward feeling.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
Totally human, though. And it actually gives us a perfect jumping off point to explore some really handy English.
It's amazing how much you can get from just a short interaction like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's dig into how they first connect.
Okay, so Anna kicks things off. She says, Nick, how's it going?
Right. And while, learners often know, how are you? Oh, this how's it going is just so common.
Yeah.
Natural.
Definitely. It's like your everyday casual greeting, good one to have ready.
Absolutely. A bit more informal, maybe, than how are you?
Yeah, I'd say so. Then Nick comes back with, oh, hey, what are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Which is a great way to, start a proper conversation. Shows interest, not just a hi, bye.
Exactly. And Anna's reply is, actually, my office is right around the corner.
Okay, around the corner. That phrase is doing some work there.
What do you mean?
Well, it means it's really close by, like probably just on the next street, easy walking distance.
Ah, right. You wouldn't say it if you had to, drive for 10 minutes.
Exactly. It implies that closeness. Super useful phrase for giving directions or locations quickly.
Okay, got it. So then the conversation moves on to the conference they were both at.
Yeah, the shared experience. Nick says, it was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Which is, again, such a normal way to reconnect, isn't it? You remind them of the positive interaction, build that rapport again, hopefully jog their memory.
Definitely establishes that link. And then we get to the bit we can all relate to, Nick's slightly embarrassing moment.
The cringe moment. He says, you know what, this is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Ah, slipped my mind. That's the key phrase there.
Yeah, it's so much better than I forgot your name.
Right. It's softer. It implies it wasn't deliberate, just poof, gone.
Totally. Makes it less awkward.
And Anna's response is just as good, really gracious. She says, sure. My name's Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too.
Oh, that's brilliant. Terrible with names, another super common one.
Yeah, it just means you're bad at remembering them.
Yep.
And saying it like that, it just normalizes the whole situation for Nick. Takes the pressure off.
It really does. Phew. Okay, so even just from that little opening, we've got some great phrases. Let's dive a bit deeper into some specific language points the original podcast highlighted. First one, in a bit of a hurry.
Okay, in a bit of a hurry. Pretty straightforward, means you're moving fast, don't have much time.
Right.
The examples they gave were good. Like, can you drive faster? I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Okay.
Or, I can't talk right now, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Yep.
And I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I'll check these files later. A bit apart kind of softens it too.
Yeah, less abrupt than just, I'm in a hurry. More polite, maybe?
Exactly. And there's contact details.
Ah, yes, contact details.
Pretty self-explanatory, but it's, all the info you need to get in touch with someone.
Like name, phone number.
Email, address sometimes. The podcast transcript, mention name, phone, email. Basically the stuff you'd find on a business card.
Which Nick actually offers Anna later, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It leads into that.
Yeah.
So contact details is the general term for that bundle of information.
Gotcha. And we mentioned it already, but let's circle back to slipped my mind because it's so useful.
Definitely worth repeating. It's that gentler way of saying you forgot. Usually something unintentional.
Right.
Like the examples, I'm sorry, I forgot to respond to your email. It just slipped my mind.
Okay. Plausible excuse.
And the other one, don't you know what day it is today? Oh, it's your birthday. It completely slipped my mind.
Oof. Yeah, that happens. Using slipped my mind maybe saves you a tiny bit there.
It takes a little bit of the edge off, Less like you were totally negligent.
Okay, so the podcast then had this section, putting it together, looking at how these phrases help with fluency. Let's start with around here.
Yeah, we heard Nick use this. Around here means like in this general area, close by.
So if I ask, is there a bank around here? I mean, near where we are now.
Exactly. And they pointed out some neat variations too.
Oh, yeah.
Like right around the corner, which we already touched on. That's even closer, more specific. Often literally on the next street.
Like the cafe is right around the corner.
Perfect. And then there's around there, which is less specific again.
How so?
It refers to a more general location, maybe one you were just talking about, like Los Angeles. Yeah, I used to live around there. Doesn't mean next door, just in that broader area.
Ah, okay. So subtle differences, but they make you sound more natural.
Definitely. Knowing when to use here, the corner, or there adds nuance.
Okay. Another key one for fluency they mentioned was terrible with.
Right. Terrible with just means you're really bad at something.
Like Anna being terrible with name.
Exactly. Or the other examples. You're terrible with numbers. You can't even remember your own telephone number.
Ouch.
Uh-huh. Or I'm terrible with directions. I'm always getting lost.
Relatable for some of us.
And I'm terrible with faces. I can never remember what people look like. It's always terrible with, followed by, the thing you struggle with.
It's such a common structure, isn't it? And the original hosts, Marco and Erica, they even shared their own examples, which was quite funny.
Oh, right. Yeah. Erica said she was terrible with numbers.
And Marco admitted being terrible with the faces. So,
wow.
See? It's universal. Makes the language feel very real.
Totally. Okay. Then they had a fluency builder bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it highlighted that greeting again. How's it going?
Yeah, we talked about it, but it's worth stressing. It's just so common.
Mm-hmm.
How are you is fine. How are you doing is fine. But how's it going? Just slots right into everyday informal chat.
It's one of those small tweaks that can really make your English sound, more lived in, more natural.
Definitely. Now, making this even more practical, the original hosts shared some personal stories and tips, specifically for that awkward forgot the name moment.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Marco's story about forgetting a relative's name.
At a family reunion, that's brave to admit.
Right. But it shows it happens to everyone. He had to, subtly ask another cousin who the person was. Very sneaky.
Been there, done that. And Erica had some good tips, too, especially for work situations.
Yeah, her strategies were smart, like asking for a business card.
The classic move.
Totally.
Yeah.
Get you the name without having to say, I forgot your name.
Very smooth. What was the other one?
Asking them to spell out their email address.
Oh, that's clever. Because then you get the name correctly spelled, probably.
Exactly. Again, without the direct admission. Just practical ways to handle it.
Real world tactics. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And finally, the podcast had that audio review part.
Right. Just quickly going over the definitions and examples again.
Yeah, reinforcing all those key phrases we've been discussing, like how's it going around here, around the corner.
In a bit of a hurry, contact details.
Slipped my mind. Terrible whipping around there. Just helps it all sink in.
That repetition is definitely helpful for learning.
For sure. Seeing them used again in different sentences really helps cement them.
So looking back, it's kind of amazing how much we unpacked from just that one short, simple conversation.
Yeah, from greetings like, how's it going, to asking about location with around here, to handling that awkward name thing.
We covered being busy with in a bit of a hurry, sharing info with contact details, admitting forgetfulness politely with slipped my mind.
And talking about things you struggle with using terrible with. These are all, building blocks for more fluent, more confident English conversations.
Absolutely. And hearing the examples, the personal stories, it really helps you see how these phrases work in, real life.
Which hopefully helps you, the listener, feel more comfortable trying them out.
So here's something to maybe think about after this. Consider the last time you were in a slightly, maybe awkward social situation. Could have been a language thing, could have just been forgetting something. How might using some of these phrases we talked about today, like slipped my mind, or even just a casual, how's it going? How might that have changed things?
That's a good question. And thinking forward, what other everyday situations pop up where these kinds of natural phrases could make your communication smoother, clearer, and just better? Where else can you practice?
Let listen the dialogue about the topic. Hello, English learners, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
How are you, Erica?
Marco, I'm doing really well today.
You excited?
We've got a great lesson for everyone.
Yes, we have a really common situation where we're going to use real English, right?
Yep, everyday English, English that people really use.
And that's what we want you to learn. What are we talking about today specifically?
Today we have a really common situation that is a little bit embarrassing.
All right, an embarrassing situation. So let's listen to the dialogue for the first time, and it's going to be kind of fast.
Yeah, but don't worry if you don't understand everything, because after 10 minutes, you'll understand everything.
Perfect. All right, let's listen.
Nick, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner.
It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure, you still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too.
Wow, Nick forgot her name.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you about it a little bit later.
Okay, all right, well, let's start with our 3 language takeaways.
Language takeaway.
So our first word on our language takeaway is in a bit of a hurry.
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 So Nick was in a hurry.
Yeah, that's right. This is a great phrase. So let's listen to 3 examples of how you can use this phrase.
Example 1.
Can you drive faster? I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Example 2.
I can't talk right now. I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Example 3.
I'm in a bit of a hurry, so I'll check these files later.
Okay, so it's clear now. Basically, it means that you don't have time.
You're moving really quickly.
Okay, perfect. Now let's look at our second language takeaway word, and it's contact details.
Contact details.
Contact details.
Contact details.
So what are your contact details?
Basically, this is the information you can find on your business card.
All right, so we have like our name, our telephone number,
Your email address, perhaps your mobile phone number.
so all the useful information so people can get in touch with you.
Yep, so people can phone you or email you. Okay, so contact details.
Great. Okay, so our third word is slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
Slipped my mind.
So this is a funny phrase. It's kind of strange, right?
Yeah, slipped my mind. It sounds very weird.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we're going to listen to 2 examples of this phrase. Try and see if you can figure out what it means.
Example 1.
I'm sorry I forgot to respond to your email. It just slipped my mind.
Example 2.
Don't you know what day it is today?
Oh, it's your birthday. It completely slipped my mind.
So slipped my mind is like, I forgot.
You forgot something.
So,
Accidentally.
right.
Okay, great. Now it's time for putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, Erica, why don't you tell our listeners what putting it together is?
Well, putting it together helps you put language together. It helps you be more fluent by knowing how words fit together.
Great, so let's look at our first phrase today, and it's around here.
Around here.
Around here.
Around here. So this is like close by.
Close
right?
by, right.
Yeah.
I can say, for example, is there a bank around here?
Yeah. So that's, is there a bank close to here?
Exactly.
Now, this phrase around here, we can change it a little bit and it means something a little bit different.
Right.
I could say, Marco, there's a great restaurant right around the corner.
Right. And that would mean there is a great restaurant on the other street.
Yep.
Or around the corner.
Yep.
Great. Or we have another example. We can say around there.
Around there.
Right. So, for example, I can say Los Angeles is a great city. I used to live around there.
So you used to live near Los Angeles.
Exactly.
All right.
It's a really good phrase, and it's really common.
Yeah. Now, our next phrase and putting it together is terrible with.
Terrible with.
Terrible with.
Terrible with. So we have a couple of examples that will show you how this phrase works.
Example 1. You're terrible with numbers. You can't even remember your own telephone number. Example 2.
I'm terrible with directions. I'm always getting lost.
Example 3. I'm terrible with faces. I can never remember what people look like.
Wow, I understand that. I'm also terrible with numbers. I can barely add 2 plus 2.
Well, yeah, I guess not everyone is a numbers person.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with faces. I sometimes forget what people look like.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So I think it's time now for us to listen to our dialogue a second time.
Okay, this time the dialogue will be a little bit slower.
Right.
So try and listen for some of the words we've just talked about.
Nick, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner.
It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure. You still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names too.
So it's more clear now. You can understand a lot better, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Great. So now it's time for us to take a look at Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So with Fluency Builder, we take some very simple phrases and show you how you can be more fluent or how you can...
Sound more native.
Yeah.
Great. In the beginning of the dialogue, Anna said, Nick, how's it going?
Yeah, this is a great phrase. It sounds really, really natural. You know, sometimes I hear students say, how are you?
Or how are you doing?
Those are 2 great phrases, but this one sounds really, really natural.
It just sounds more casual.
Yeah, let's listen again to that phrase from the dialogue.
How's it going? How's it going?
Great. So next time that you find a friend on the street, you can just say, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. So Marco, have you ever forgotten someone's name?
Yeah, it's happened to me a couple of times. And actually, the most embarrassing situation was that I forgot a family member's name.
A
Yeah.
family member's name.
We had like a family reunion, and there were a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins that I hadn't seen in a while, and I just forgot one of my uncle's names, and I was...
Uh-oh, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah,
So what did you do?
Well, I had to ask one of my other cousins. I'm like, hey, who is that guy? He's like, oh, that's Uncle John. I'm like, oh, man, I totally forgot. Yeah, so it was really embarrassing because I didn't know what to call him, so I just called him Uncle because I didn't know his name.
Hi, Uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when that happens to me, when I'm in a business setting, sometimes what I do is I ask for someone's card.
Ah, yeah, that's the good technique.
Yeah, or sometimes I might ask them to write down their email. Because usually their full name is spelled out in their email address. So that's my trick when I've forgotten someone's name.
That's a good trick, and I guess a lot of our listeners can take your advice on that.
Okay, so I think it's time for us to listen to our dialogue one more time, this time at natural speed.
Nick, how's it going?
Oh, hey.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Do you live around here?
Actually, my office is right around the corner.
It was great to meet you last week at the conference. I really enjoyed our conversation about foreign investment.
Yeah, it was really interesting. You know, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but here's my card. We should definitely meet up again and continue our discussion.
Sure, you still have my contact details, right?
You know what? This is really embarrassing, but your name has just slipped my mind. Can you remind me?
Sure. My name is Anna Ferris. Don't worry about it. It happens to me all the time. I'm terrible with names, too.
Well, I hope that you've all enjoyed our lesson for today. And remember to check out our website at englishpod.com,
where you can find a lot of other resources and you can leave all your questions and comments.
Yeah, Marco and I are always on the site, so we're happy to answer all of your questions.
Exactly. So now it's time for us to say
goodbye.
Bye.